As a criminal defense attorney, you get this quintessential question of how do you sleep at night? How do you do what you do? Simply put, no one should ever be accused of a crime they didn't do or be defined by the worst thing they've ever done.
Life is complicated. Real life is really complicated, and people's circumstances have a lot of nuance. It's rarely a situation where you have a client who is just evil. It never comes up. Most people aren't evil. Most people have lives that they've lived. Most people have had circumstances that they've been through.
Our notion of what the criminal justice system is completely different from what reality is. When you look at when you watch sort of TV shows about criminal justice, that is a fantasy.
At the point where I decided to go into law, I thought that was going to mean being a prosecutor. I really thought that defending victims and going after the quote-unquote bad guys, that was what that was going to mean for me. There is a group of people who I think have less of a voice than what is realized, and what's important is that their rights are protected and that there's someone who's advocating and fighting for them, so that if the state is going to go after you and they are going to try to take away the rest of your life, they damn sure better have the evidence and they better have done their job.
Let's talk about that premise, that you know someone is guilty. You are presupposing a level of competence, accuracy, and intelligence that simply does not exist in the world. During my time, I've represented thousands of people. Of course, some of them have pled guilty. A lot of people have pled guilty, or we've worked out deals, etc. But I cannot tell you how many times I have encountered a situation where someone in a position of power, namely in law enforcement, has flat out just lied. Do I represent people who may in fact be guilty of some of what they are accused of? Sure, that happens. Is it the case that they're guilty of 100% of what they're charged with? Most of the time, that's not true.
When you're successful in defending someone charged with a crime, it's the things that come along afterwards that make you realize you've fulfilled. It's seeing that client out working a job. It's seeing his family back together again, seeing them reunited with their children.
Even something as serious as a murder has typically an actual context to it, and that's not just people have been through a rough time. Sometimes there's a lot going on, even behind really complicated cases like murder. Why did a killing happen? What did witnesses see? There's a lot for us to consider beyond just the question of, is this person a bad person or a good person? We don't deal with bad people or good people, we deal with people.
I represent fathers, brothers, mothers, sisters, daughters, sons. These are people who have been accused of a crime. Under our Constitution, which I defend vigorously, that I believe in, that everybody has that opportunity to have their side of the story told.